Neighbors tell us there are two bodies of water in this area referred to as the Twin Lakes. In fact, Twin Lakes at one point in time was the proposed name of this park.
See, one thing about the news, it may not go into detail about certain stuff, but it's going to put it out there. And then you could make your own conclusion. These were twin brothers. They went to a lake that is connected with two bodies of water. It was supposed to be named Twin Lakes, but they changed it to a person's name, Arthur Woodward Park. So, the news is not going to say certain stuff, but they're going to put it out there so you could make your own conclusion. But they want you to know, hey, is this ironic or whatever you may call it, that these twins lost their life in a body of water, two bodies of water.
And it was here where these twin brothers died, as one was trying to save the other. The devastation and grief these parents feel is unbearable. They spoke with CBS News Miami Saturday with the help of a translator, just a day after their 13-year-old twin sons, Alex and Andrew Paul, drowned.
This is a big pain. She don't know how to describe that because she feel a pain she never had before.
Police have not confirmed what happened, but witnesses say the twins were playing with friends by the lake at Arthur Woodward Park on the 1100 block of Northwest 99th Street Friday afternoon when one of the kids pushed Alex into the lake.
So this is where it gets conflicting. So some reports are saying that it was one of the twins that pushed the other brother in the lake and went after him. And there are other reports that are saying it was another kid that did it. So this is where it gets complicated. But one thing I know, somebody pushed that child into that lake. I don't pretend to know these kids, but nobody sees a lake and say that, oh, let me go jump in this lake. We may dip our feet in it, but to jump in it, no. Somebody pushed this child. So whether it was his brother or the other kid, somebody did it.
Andrew jumped in trying to save his brother, but they both started struggling in the water. First responders rushed to the scene, pulling the boys out of the lake, but it was too late for the twins.
You cannot change anything, but those kids who both die in the same time, he feel like it's so hard for him. If he can do anything to save them, if he was there, he will do everything to save his kids.
The family says Alex and Andrew were extremely close and that they had big dreams for the future.
Andrew said, Mommy, when I become a police officer, I will help you a lot. And Alex said the same thing. When they're growing up, they're gonna work hard to give her a new home, a new life. That was the dream.
But those dreams have come to a halt, and what remains is the memories, the love, and the pain of losing them.
Hey everyone, it's your sister Roland, and all I need is a few more minutes to talk about this tragic story coming out of Miami-Dade. When I first heard about this was like, really, it's a really sad story. It really touched me. Not only because twins and triplets run my family, then this is the area that I live in. And then the mom looks very familiar to me. Even if she didn't look familiar to me, I still was going to do a story about it. But it seems like I know her from someplace. But anyway, these young boys lost their life. They're right up here, Alex and Andrew. They're no longer here. And just have a few things that I have to say about this story is that I already spoke about, how the news put it out there that, hey, this is a lake that's connected with two bodies of water, and it was supposed to be called the Twin Lakes. They didn't want to put that, but it's kind of weird that these kids lost their life in something like that. But the thing is, kind of weird that they lost in their life as twins in a twin body of water, in a sense. But this is not the first time this has happened at this lake. There are other kids that have lost their life. There are other people that have lost their lives. It doesn't happen as often. Maybe if it had happened as often, different measures would have been done to make this area safer. But there are people in the research I've done, there are people that said that they lost a family member in the same lake. So I'm saying, when is Miami-Dade? This, because I think this is like Miami-Dade County that would be over this, because it's a park. Miami-Dade, when are they going to do anything about it? Some people say put a fence. They may not be able to put a fence, but at least put signs there or something to warn people. You know what this is? This, I heard this lake is like 40 feet deep, and it has a lot of weeds in it, like stuff in it. And you don't know what else is down there. Something 40 feet deep and dark like that. Remember, a lake is not like the ocean where, you know, you could go and you could kind of see down there. A lake is so dark and murky. That's why when my kids, from when they were smaller, I always tell them, you can't swim in a lake. I don't care what anybody say. Other people could swim in a lake. That's on them. But you never know what's down there when you swim in a lake. So I've always told my children that. So don't be you because they have gone canoeing and kayaking and stuff like that. Don't try to go in swimming in no lake. Other people can do it. You don't do it. And some stuff I tell them over and over and over again. But nobody could anticipate something like that. I heard this was the actual first time they went over there, according to the stepfather, because that was the stepfather. That was their first time, and wow. And many times I've heard tragedies like that. Sometimes it's the first time the child going to this place. It's the first time the child is going, and then they lose their life. And then this is another thing that gets that I have to say. I'm talking about the black community because I'm black. We always pushing each other in water. Say it ain't so. Whether you at a pool, whether you at a beach or something like that, somebody always pushing somebody. That really gets on my nerves. And sometimes, even though the person may not lose their life, but then because, you know, you didn't anticipate that you were going to go in the water, and then, you know, you get to drink some water because somebody think it's funny to push people in a body of water, whatever body of water. It was not too long ago. I think during the pandemic, it was two men. They were on a boat. This happened, I think, is in Georgia. They were on a boat, and then some lady pushed them, thinking it was funny because she pushed them, thinking it was funny. They couldn't swim. And they was, you know, they got there. They was panicking. I'm not sure they didn't have any life, you know, the circle life, whatever they call them stuff, that they couldn't get it to them. Both of them lost their lives because people think it's so funny to be pushing people until it's not funny anymore and somebody loses their life. It's always somebody pushing. Why we have to do that? We think about the weirdest way to be, the weirdest things to do to be funny. So it's conflicting reports. One, somebody say it's the brother. Other people say it's another kid. Maybe they saying it's the brother. You know, the brother isn't here. He can't defend himself. So that's why they saying the brother, to deflect on the actual person that actually did it. Because one of his friends said that it was a boy. It was an actual boy. It was not the brother. According to what what people are saying. Because it's easy, of course, to blame the other brother. He's no longer here. He can't defend himself. Say, no, it wasn't me. I didn't do it. He did it. So now better say, hey, let's just blame it on the brother. He's not here, instead of getting the other person in trouble. But if it was another kid that did it, and then people trying to cover up for this kid, what is that going to do? How is that going to help? What are they going to learn from this? You finished do this. You push this child. If it did happen that way, you got away with it because people lying for you. What have you learned? This is ridiculous. I mean, these kids finally making it to graduate elementary, because actually they were supposed to been graduate elementary. It wasn't supposed to be the age that they have. They were supposed to be in middle school, at least the 7th grade. So now they finally graduating, getting ready to graduate elementary. And now instead of the mom planning for graduation, buying things for their prom or whatever, or I don't think they have prom, but they have like this, they go take them out to a lunch brunch thing, depending on the school that you go to, getting ready for graduation. Now she's going to have to bury her 2 sons. That is a pain that's unimaginable. 2 sons. I think they have a younger brother, but that's 2 sons. They just celebrated their birthday on March the 1st. Now they no longer here because people want to be funny and want to do things that they think are funny but can be dangerous. And this is the thing. We need to teach our children more, drill in their heads. Every action has a consequence. And you don't get a chance to choose the consequences. You do not. And some of these consequences alter your life forever. We have to. People are not raising their children. It still goes back to people not raising their children. Because a lot of these kids, they're making these decisions that are life altering decisions. Because nobody's drilling in their heads. Actions have consequences. These kids, a lot of these kids are just growing up. Nobody's raising them because everybody's too tired. You're working 2-3 jobs and stuff like that. You don't have time to raise children. Just let them learn. They'll be fine. I was fine. But we live in a different world. We live in different times. And these kids love to do TikTok. I see a lot of their friends. That's how they're honoring them, by doing different TikToks. But how are you going to really honor them? Because they will never, ever get to experience a lot of things in life. How you honor them, that's how you do it. You graduate elementary. You graduate middle school, high school, college. Because they won't be able to do it. I think they have 2 sisters or 1 sister. I'm not sure. But I saw a sister. That's how you honor somebody that has gone too soon. The things that they cannot do, the things they cannot accomplish anymore, the things they cannot finish, you do that for them. That's how you honor. Not only you could do TikTok dances, that's what they like to do and stuff like that, but there are things they will never be able to do. You can do it. This is such an unfortunate, sad, tragic situation for these young boys. I mean, you see all those first responders. I know and those stuff are very devastating for them to see that they did everything that they could to save these boys, and they couldn't. Even those first responders, you have to pray for them also, because that affects you. That really affects you. And when you pump, and then you probably feeling the heartbeat getting weaker and weaker, and you feel that the life is leaving this child. That's very traumatic too for those first responders. We always have to pray for these first responders that put their sanity, their mental health on the line to save lives. That's not an easy job. Pray for those. Always pray for first responders. All the time. Pray for this mom that's going to have to sit in a church or wherever they're going to have this funeral and see her sons in a casket because somebody thought something was funny. Pushing people in the water was funny. This is sad. And pray for his siblings too, because when the thing first happened, you have people coming in and out and stuff like that. But then when all the visit stops, and then you realize there's going to be a point that you realize, wow, I'm never ever going to see this person again. And that's when it really hits you. And some people don't ever even get to that place. Anyway, that's all I had to say on this situation. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you in another video. Bye.